Welcome back. As you know, I am Eli, the computer guy, here for the Daily Blob, where I shake my brain at nipples every day to get some of that dirty YouTube money so I can afford to provide you folks in-person, hands-on technology education in Durham, North Carolina. So Silicon Dojo, silicondojo.com, free to the end-user classes. We have a class coming up on AI and SQL, structured query language. We have a class coming up on AI and web scraping. If you're interested, go to silicondojo.com to find out more. Do remember, free to the user is not actually free. There's a donor box link down below if you'd like to help support my project. And man, some days it just gets hard to laugh. Some days the news is just so painful it becomes hard to laugh about. But by God, my brand is about giggling about horrible crap in the world. And we here at Eli the Computer Guy Daily Blob, we believe in our brand integrity. Even when it's hard, we will laugh at the poor bastards. They're about to fucking starve. Fuck, I hate this timeline. My God, this is the stupidest fucking timeline. So just when you thought the timeline couldn't get stupider, oh, it's about to get stupider. So basically we have the government shutdown going on right now. Second longest government shutdown in history. I don't know, we're on 25th day or something. Anyway, so basically the Democrats refuse to sign off on the budget. So basically the government doesn't have any money anymore. And they want Trump to back down on some healthcare benefits out of the big, beautiful bill. Right? Anyways, Trump, the negotiator-in-chief, I don't think he actually understands what the word negotiator is. Art of the deal. He doesn't deal. He just tells you. He just puts down demands. So he's not listening. He doesn't give a fuck what the Democrats want. So basically the government's shut down. So the Democrats have shut down the government in order to try to force Trump to do what they want him to do. Trump just doesn't give a fuck. Trump just doesn't give a fuck. The problem is for the Democrats is they feel like they have to do something, right? There's this feeling that they are basically impotent in the Trump administration, which just is the truth. I mean, it's like one of those harsh realities. Like the progressives can't quite accept this, but yeah, the Democrats right now are rather impotent. Right? So you can either realize that you're relatively impotent now, you can get your structure together, you can get your argument together, you can get your financials together so that you can go hard at the midterm elections to actually try to get power back, or you can bang your head against the wall and starve poor people. So, in the modern world, what the Democrats are going to do is make sure those fucking poor people starve, because apparently that's a win somehow. So anyways, right, the government is shut down. So FAA, air traffic controllers, they're forced to be at work, even though they're literally not getting paid. The people whose hundreds of thousands of citizens' lives are in their hands, they're literally not getting paid right now. Trump isn't going to acquiesce. Democrats don't want to acquiesce. And so on November 1st, SNAP, basically food stamps, are supposed to go out. And there is no funding mechanism for that at this point in time. If the Democrats don't surrender, food stamps don't go out on November 1st. Apparently, it's something like 1 out of every 8 Americans basically needs food stamps, SNAP assistance. And so that is going to be painful. And when you think about this, again, you might be one of those people. I don't need food assistance. I did things right. Sure, bucko. Anyways, but one of the things you have to think about is the follow-on economic effect. How many people who use SNAP go to Walmarts? How many people that use SNAP go to your particular grocery stores? How many people who use SNAP are in your community and they're putting that money directly back into the community? You have a lot of people who use SNAP who are no longer able to buy groceries. That also means employees that don't need to be there because they don't need to sell groceries to people who aren't going to buy groceries, right? Depending if it's a small grocery store, how long they remain financially viable. You see this a lot in cities or in rural areas. You have grocery stores that essentially are continuing more or less based off of inertia. There is no way it would be viable at this point in time to actually build a grocery store and get it up to speed, but they built this damn thing back in the 40s or 50s. The building margin is already there. People already know that's there. And there's enough of a profit margin in there. Somebody's willing to run that damn thing. The interesting thing becomes is, again, you start shutting off SNAP, again, for a lot of places, a lot of red places, again, Alabama, Oklahoma, Louisiana, those types of folks, those types of places. If they're not getting the food stamps, then they're not going to those local grocery stores. How long do those grocery stores remain viable? And if they shut down, will they ever come back? Or, more importantly, is this the straw that breaks the camel's back? Right? If you have a 60-some-year-old, person who owns a grocery store in the middle of nowhere, right? And it's been trucking along, but now tariffs are through the roof. Now you don't know what's going on with the economy. All of a sudden you have problems with these SNAP benefits. Is it worth continuing? It's like, well, it's been a good run, right? I've run this grocery store for 20, 25 years. I love the community. I love doing it. But I don't feel comfortable continue doing this into the future. And you shut down. And that's one of the other concerns too, is like there's points when businesses become economically unviable, right? There's points of bankruptcy or when you're getting down the road to bankruptcy. And so the business is not viable. But one of the things that gets left out of some of these conversations is, especially for entrepreneurs and business owners, there's also the decision point. Like they decide to wake up in the morning and provide products and services. When does the economic macro environment create the situation where more and more entrepreneurs just decide, I've already got a retirement fund, or I think I can make more money somewhere else, or something like that, and they just shut down their businesses? Anyways, Trump administration posts notice that no federal food aid will go out November 1st. And so when I'm recording this is on the 28th, so this is only a few days away. So the least able to deal with economic shocks are the ones that are going to get the economic shock. Well, if you're worried about the SNAP benefits not coming in November 1st, what you should really do is just stock up on groceries. Yeah, just stock up. Make sure to fill your refrigerator and stock up on groceries so that if your food benefits don't come in, you have enough to carry you through. It's like, yeah, that's not how poor works. That's not how poor actually works. So the U.S. Department of Agriculture has posted a notice on its website saying federal food aid will not go out November 1st, raising the stakes for families nationwide as the government shutdown drags on. The new notice comes after the Trump administration said it would not tap roughly $5 billion in contingency funds to keep benefits through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, commonly referred to as SNAP, flowing in December. That program helps about 1 in 8 Americans buy groceries. Again, when I talk about the fracturing of our society, the foundation of our society are failing, 1 in 8 Americans are part of the food stamp program, right? Something like 15% of Americans need support buying groceries. What the ever-loving fuck? Quote, bottom line, the well has run dry, the USDA notice says. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1. We are approaching an inflection point for Senate Democrats. The shutdown, which began October 1st, is now the second longest on record. While the Republican administration took steps leading up to the shutdown to ensure SNAP benefits were paid this month, the cutoff would expand the impact of the impasse to a wider swath of Americans and some of those most in need unless a political resolution is found in just a few days. Democratic lawmakers have written to Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins requesting to use contingency funds to cover the bulk of next month's benefits. But a USDA memo that surfaced Friday says, quote, contingency funds are not legally available to cover regular benefits. The document says the money is reserved for such things as helping people in a disaster area. It cited a storm named Melissa, which has strengthened to a major hurricane, as an example of why it's important to have the money available to mobilize quickly in the event of disaster. Some states have pledged to keep SNAP benefits flowing, even if the federal program halts payments, but there are questions about whether U.S. government directives may allow that to happen. The USDA memo also says states would not be reimbursed for temporarily picking up the cost. Other states are telling SNAP recipients to be ready for the benefits to stop. Arkansas and Oklahoma, for example, are advising recipients to identify food pantries and other groups that help with food. So yeah. Yeah, I don't. So this is happening. So this is happening. Oh, Lordy, how will this end? Who knows? Who knows? Because it is curious. Like I've been watching the Democrat pundits. Right? I've been watching the Ezra Kleins of the world and the people whose very blood runs blue. And the curious thing is a lot of them are arguing not to back down against Trump. Take this as far as they can go, right? If the Republicans before, right, the longest shutdown in history was Republicans, right? If the Republicans are willing to destroy our economy to get their way, then the Democrats, fuck me, should be willing to destroy the economy to be able to get their way. And it's like Trump is a piece of crap, right? Trump is trash. Trump is trash that is more than willing to punish the American people so that he can get his soundbite, right? All he fucking cares about is his bling. He gets the bling. That's the important thing. But the issue is, again, with our government system, it's not just simply that he won the White House. It's that the GOP, right? They talk about a fucking bunch of welfare queens. Fucking take their pay and benefits and use it to fund a little bit of the food stamp program. But anyways, right? But they won. They won the House and they won the Senate. They have all the cards. And so I think the issue that we're running into now is you have these hardcore progressives that just don't want to accept that they lost. And the argument is you have to fight as hard as possible. And so they're now trying to use this as the weapon. But the issue is with Trump. Trump wants to eliminate the federal government. Trump wants to create chaos. Trump wants to create disaster. Right? Trump loves, instigating hate and anger and the whole 9 yards, and the Democrats seem to be feeding directly into that. But at the same time, like they think they're doing well or whatever else. So it'll be curious to see where this goes. When does this end? Can the Democrats back down? And if the Democrats can't back down, where does all this go? I mean, my argument from a political standpoint would be let the Republicans own all of this horse shit. As I've said before, this is all math. When I scream about this stuff, we talk about the 30,000 layoffs with Amazon. We talk about the 20,000 layoffs with Intel. We talk about the 16,000 layoffs with Microsoft. We talk about all the other failings, right? U.S. auto manufacturers are now having to idle lines because they can't get chips because of the dipshittery that the Trump administration is trying to pull, right? I don't understand why the Democrats just don't allow Republicans to own the shit show that they're creating. Right? Step back and allow the Republicans to do what they want to do, because at the end of the day, it is going to be a fucking disaster. And so the Democrats fundamentally don't have a whole hell of a lot of power now, at least at the federal level. So step back and let the American people see what a crap show this is, right? The party that is supposed to be about business, right? The party that's supposed to be about things like national security being a disaster. But the issue is that their people are pushing them so hard. No, we've got to... So I don't know where this ends at the end of the day, right? You start getting hungry people. Start getting hungry people. That is a bad way to go for all of us. I don't think there's any winner there. There's no winner with hungry people. There's no winner with hungry people. Right? Electricity bills go up by a little bit. I hate to say it, there can be a winner there, right? People get laid off, right? There can be a winner. Man, people go hungry because of the lizard, right? It's when the lizard brain comes out. Shit can just go sideways so fucking quickly. And you just don't know which direction it's going to go in. So anyways, if any Democrats are listening, stop. Stop. You lost. You fucking lost. You folks decided to run a fucking dead president. You decided to run a dead president because your heads were so fucking far up your own goddamn asses. You thought running a dead president would still beat Trump, right? And then after that, right, with no primary, you try to insert Kamala Harris, which was just a complete and utter crap show, right? For once in your fucking life, you blue-haired shitheads, take responsibility for your actions. You fucking failed. You were egotistical. You were arrogant. Your head was so far up your ass, you couldn't see fucking anything going on in the world. And that's why you lost the last election cycle. Take a fucking step back, reassess what the hell is going on, focus on building hospitals. Here's the thing. You know who I want to vote for? I want to vote for the party that's going to build more fucking hospitals. And at this point in time, none of you motherfuckers are doing that. So anyways, we have one side, you know, that are pretending to be dogs, and we the other side saying that gender is just a fucking mental construct. Hey, what side builds hospitals? Just yeah, you're nuts. You're not. Who's gonna build hospitals? So, anyways, what do you think about this with food stamps? Food stamps. Fuck me. Stopping. Probably November 1st. Do you think the Democrats will be able to back down? I highly question it. And what happens past that? What happens past that? I don't know. What are your thoughts? Put your thoughts down below. If you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. If you hate these videos, give us a thumbs down. Call me amazing, call me a dumbass. Just be a real whatneck and do it down there in the comment section. Do you remember Silicon Dojo? SiliconDojo.com is what I actually care about. Free to the end user, hands-on technology education that empowers you to do whatever the hell it is that you want to do. We have a class on AI and SQL coming up next week on November 5th. We have a class on AI and web scraping coming up on November 19th in Durham, North Carolina. If you're interested, go to the website to take a look. Do remember there's a donor box link down below. Free to the end user. Free to the end user is not actually free. If you would like to throw some money in, that would be ever so lovely. And with that, see y'all later.